So we are about to pull the timing belt off the injection pump, and because we're on the left hand cylinder head, we're not on the TDC marks of cylinder 1, otherwise you can't split the cam chain. We just put some marks on here. Someone put some marks here at the corner of the pump because that was out recently. So yeah, it's enough, I think, as long as you can see it. Go a bit steeper this way. You don't want to catch it on the inside. And then we're going to split the cam chain and pull the head. That's the plan so far. So we made a new gasket for this one. For whatever reason, the gasket set doesn't include it. That's where the thermostat goes. And this one goes on top of it. I think this way around. We still need to chase these threads because that stud is bent. I can't get the studs out. Don't know how they fitted. Maybe with Loctite. Need to put a new copper ring gasket under this one because before the thermostat was fitted with a rubber, which makes absolutely no sense. Right, let's change that and we're good to go with this one. We cleaned the surface, so the filler cap is actually tight. Same with underneath here. That surface needs to be clean as well. It was very pitted because that's the secondary gasket surface of the filler cap, and it's got to be fairly clean. It was full of limescale. I think someone had been running the engine with no antifreeze, just water. We saw some evidence in other places. Alright, let's carry on. So we're just about to pull the second head. Well, okay, here it is. At least this cylinder isn't scored, the last one was. Doesn't look too bad actually. Alright, let's see where we're at with this cylinder head. Okay, here we have it. We got some good news. The head is 120.45 millimeters. That is most likely never machined. It was tight. The gasket looked good. So this head was probably never off because we found a lot of gunk, mainly rust and in the cooling system. So we think that head was never off, which is a good thing. We'll check the flatness, but it was tight, so there's no reason for doing any machining work on that head. Obviously we're going to check the clearance of the cams. We don't know exact the mileage of that engine. Well, I'm looking at the bores, I suspect somewhere in the region of 200,000 kilometers, which is quite a bit. So you never know. Anyway, let's look at the bores and the head gasket. Look at that gunk here. The other one was much cleaner. So this indicates that this head was at least on for much longer. And look here. There's a lot of gunk too. So the car is from Italy, so they most likely had it running with no antifreeze. We're pretty positive because we couldn't see any signs of leaking. There was a slight oil leak at this position, but that's a return and we could see that. But when he got the engine, the top head bolts were loose, which is a bad thing. Since he tightened that, he was good. And very windy today. The cams don't have the water pump plier marks like the other ones, which is a good thing as well. We need to address the bearing here. There's either a bearing or a seal here. That's another job we need to do. Probably tomorrow, because tomorrow is supposed to be raining, so we're going to do the cylinder head tomorrow. Because I'm going to pick up a milling machine this afternoon and he's going to assemble the right hand side. So that's the plan for today. Coffee time. We'll come back later. Just checking the, what's that, exhaust cam. It's not too bad actually. That's a bit low, no? Is that 0.09, 0.07, 6? Maybe 0.05. It's about the same as the other one, no? Ah, look at that. Look here. Same problem. That's pretty. That's a lot of clearance. So it's been messed around with as well. Maybe that engine has a problem generally with cams or cam lubrication. Who knows? We'll find out. So that's the underside of the left-hand cylinder head. That's the tensioner. To dismantle the whole thing, you loosen that screw here, push everything back, and it's spring-loaded. And then to retension it, follow the procedure. You actually tighten it up when you run the engine. Actually, looks not bad. We still haven't cleaned it, so. But I think final dimension looks like it's never been machined, which is good. We'll at the moment I'm just checking the cams. I think, which one is that? The one I have in the light at the moment is the inlet cam. Let's go over there. That's the inlet cam. It's running through here and here, and we got about, make that plus minus 2/100 of a millimeter, and that's the same here, so it's alright. We need to polish the journals a little bit because they are not. They are much better than the other side, but these have the same wear pattern, and you can catch your fingernail here. So we just want to get rid of the really bad stuff. Obviously, this side has the same miles as the other one. I think I mentioned it before. The engine is going to be overhauled in the next whatever 20-30,000 kilometers anyway. But that's probably a couple of years away. Anyway, that cam looks good to me. We polish it and check the next one. That's how the bearing journals look. It looks like the engine has eaten some dirt because there are some inclusions which we don't know what it is. Needs a bit of lapping, and then we'll check the caps, how they look. They've been ground with a belt sander as well. That's what it looks like. So we need to lap them as we did with the other ones. Okay, but that's job for tomorrow because it's supposed to be raining tomorrow. Alright, I've done the crank, I've done the, which cam was it? I've done the inlet cam. Let's have a look at that one. So I polished all the journals. We got 970 on all of them, so that's 26970 on all of them, but the front one is a bit under. The ridges are gone, it doesn't stick anymore, you can feel it, especially in the center here, this one. That's what I see in the head as well, but I can't feel, yeah, you can feel it, but hardly. So we within spec, at least from the size, which is a good thing. Let's see what the other one revealed. So we're flushing the cams because these cams were ground sometimes in the past, and we got the suspicion that there is some grinding dust inside, which hasn't been cleaned out, because if you look at the bearings, that's what it looks like. Not very pretty. The bearing surfaces, they have a lot of inclusions, and I think that's the exhaust cam. We'll fill it with kerosene, and I just let it sit there for a while. I taped all the journals because they're holes, so nothing can come out, and then we just fill it and see what happens. And what comes out, we use a sieve so we can see if there's some gunk coming out. Alright, that's the plan. Sorry for the noise, the vacuum cleaner is running. As usual, there is always some surprises. We found a porosity in the casting. It's either corrosion or it was always there. There's another one here. But we assumed the head was never off because everything looks virgin. But is it oxide or is it just gunk?
I think it's oxide.
So it's probably corrosion. It's not critical, but yeah, it's not new. I'm still working on the bearing caps. I'm just polishing them and check the lower surface because they all been treated with a one phaser. Really rough. Some of them have really big holes. It's just well done.